Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dive, the Double D's, where you, the audience, are in charge. And I got nothing to say. I got no follow-up to that. I'm running out of those ideas. I've used those lines way too much. Because, listen, it is your show. You guys are the ones who decide essentially what the most of the show goes, and I leave it to you. But I do have my segments. I hope everybody's having a good start to your Thursday. It is Thursday afternoon in this October 23rd, 2025. And I'm almost better. The sick is almost gone. I've only coughed once today, maybe twice. The nose is still a little wonky, but not a constant faucet of snot. And I got another bunch of hours of sleep. So one thing to say, this whole being sick period for a week, I've really been getting caught up on my sleep. And it's good. I feel better. Feel stronger. I don't feel so tired during the day. I mean, the sick has drained me a little bit tired, but I haven't felt so tired during the day. Either way, I'm ready to go. I don't know how this show's going to go today. As usual, I have one thing I'm going to bring up, which is kind of a two-pronged opening monologue topic, and we'll see how we go from there. We got the news, and the rules are as follows, as usual. $5 gets you an Adam rant on just about anything within reason. Just within reason. We keep it in pop culture, but we could do funny, silly things. Done that before. $10 gets you the chance to ask me a question. I'll tell you no lies, where I will say basically, hey, let's have a conversation. You, me, the chat. We'll have a conversation. We'll do it together. Have a good time. See how things go. Then $10 also rents me for 30 minutes to play a video game. We've got a backlog for party animals, but that'll get solved eventually and then get added more to it. Doesn't matter. Then $15 gets you an instant hot take reaction on an article from the news when we come across or one you may be sitting on and you want my in-depth, powerful analysis on with no prep time. $20 gets you the good old-fashioned Adam reacts to something he doesn't want to watch on a video. That's everybody's favorite. I think that is everybody's favorite in the end. And, of course, then $30 gets you a chat made me watch this reviews, or I will review live on this stream an episode of television or a movie you may want. You always got to give me a couple of days. We always get it done. And usually the best ones are horrible things that are going to make me cry. Because why do you want to make me watch something I enjoy? I could do that for real on another stream. This is about you torturing me, isn't it? And that's that. Of course, you can also just send super chats to share your love for me and your support. I like that. And I am really doing things with my hair here. That's not good. My mom is great at what she does, but she is tired sometimes, and she left it a little too long in the front. So I'm getting a 3-week check cut this weekend to correct her leaving it too long in the front this time around. I love the woman. She's great. She has done so much for me in my life. and I appreciate her all the time. No, I don't appreciate, though. I do not appreciate, I would say, I don't appreciate the internet sometimes. Specifically, I don't appreciate people who get out there and say things and everybody thinks they speak for all of us. I don't appreciate that because it makes it hard for those of us who have actual intelligent points to make. It makes it difficult for us to refute retards. Makes it hard for us to push back against stands and shills and simps and cucks and fake fans. It makes it very hard sometimes. And chief among that right now, and this is part of my two-pronged thing I want to talk about here. First, I'm going to do a little update on the Ghost of Yote situation. And it's going to lead into the other thing I want to talk about from my end because nothing else has come up for me in terms of articles or subject matter. So we'll see where the day takes us on that stuff. But this is what I want to talk about. So Ghost of Yote, they announced this week some website, I don't know who they are, the top 20 sales for the last day of December, September leading into October. So everybody under Ghost of Yote wants to say that Ghost of Yote was one of the best in September for a day because it was launch day. Retarded. And they're running with this. They're running with this graphic right here. All of them. That Ghost of Yote was number 4 of the top 20 best-selling games, physical and full digital game from a Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC platforms for publishers in the Digital Leader panel, ranked in dollar sales, reporting September 31st to October 4th. So they all want to claim that in one day, Ghost of Yote made it to number 4. New. Okay. Yes, launch day. It probably sold. It probably did sell in that first week a couple of million copies. It probably did, but not on its first day. And we still don't have numbers. But they all want to claim, all of them, had that boycott work for you? First of all, 90% of us never called for a boycott. We just said, no thank you, fuck this game, for a lot of reasons. But they want to claim your boycott didn't work. Look, it sold number 4. It beat all these things. Well, let's look at what beat on the list. It beat probably Madden, NFL 26 has been out for a while. It beat Helldivers 2, which had just released on Xbox. Helldivers 2 doesn't move anymore. Okay, Silent Hill F, niche, very niche franchise. A Sonic racing game no one gives a fuck about. And my game, FF Tactics, Evilise Chronicles, which is a remaster of a 30-year-old game that still at least broke into the top 10. It's a remaster. That it added a few bells and whistles, nothing major. Great game, but it's not a new game. It's not something brand new. Ghost of Yote, brand new, still got beat out by the disaster that is Borderlands and another EA Sports game. And they're also happy. It's number 4, everybody. How'd your boycott work? Number 4. Number 4. And only likely to drop in the rankings. Now, I can't wait until this gets released for, let's say, October 5th to October 11th. I can't wait for that because it's likely to drop in the rankings. Because guess what? We still haven't gotten a single actual solid number report except for one locale, Japan. And they were so proud of their release day, their release week, 120,000 physical copies sold. Would you like a comparison to what a real release looks like? What a real excited release looks like? Pokemon Legends Z to A, number 1 best-selling game in Japan last week. Selling a whopping 1.48 million physical units at launch between the Switch and the Switch 2. 1.4. This is what a successful launch looks like. And that's just Japan. Rest of the world, probably add a couple more million units to the rest of the world. And this isn't digital. That's physical. A lot of people got it on digital too. This is what a successful launch looks like, despite all the bullshit that is surrounding ZDA. And there's a lot of bullshit, but I'll leave that to Dermy to talk about. He's the one covering that because he's playing the actual game and he understands how the Pokemon franchise works and how they sell this stuff. This is what a real success looks like. Not 120,000 units sold in Japan. They were so proud. Excuse me. 120,000 units sold. Goes to Yote, killing it. #1. No, this is what a #1 looks like. Pokemon game. Pokemon game. Selling that much. That's what it looks like in a week. That's success. That's making money. Ghost of Yote, when all is said and done, its lifetime, Ghost of Tsushima got 13 million copies sold in its lifetime. Ghost of Yote won't even get half that in its lifetime, I believe. Because you notice now, well, I notice, maybe you don't because you're not inundated with it on your X feed. The Yote talk has died down. After 4 weeks now, it is died down. Nobody except these few weirdos here want to talk about it. This game is not, it's James Gunn's Superman syndrome is what it is. False narrative. Propped up fake propaganda. Trying to pretend that it's something more than it is. And because it's not anything. This game is, it didn't innovate in any way, shape, or form. It's not something new. It's just a revenge story. It's not a great, brand new, deep story like Ghost of Tsushima was. A man torn between his upbringing and what he knows needs to be done to save his country, save his people. There's a difference. And in the end, time will show that this game was not what they pretended it would be, just because of a bunch of bot, fake fans, fake gamer tourist accounts pushed it really hard on social media to make it look like something. So that's the first part of this. And I need to blow my nose real quick before we continue with the next part. Excuse me. So the next part of this I want to come up to is, thing about boycott I mentioned. I mean, Kel says, your boycott works just fine. Yeah. But point is, Kel, you're not running around yelling at people to boycott anything, are you? You just said, I'm not going to buy it. Thanks. And you went about your business, playing all the games you play. Difference. I myself didn't run around saying boycott. I said this game looks like it has red flags. I'm not interested. And in the long run, I don't think it's going to sell what they think it's going to sell. I don't think it's the win Sucker Punch is going to need. But there are those out there, a bunch of, I call them the true grifters. I call them the true grifters of our sphere, of gaming spheres and pop culture spheres. The guys who will grab onto anything and scream woke, scream agenda, scream this, scream that, without proper analysis or evidence to make their point. And when they grab onto a topic because they think it's going to get them bigger engagement, or they think they can get an actual rage bait video on YouTube, they'll run with it. And in my opinion, destroy any chance at a legitimate pushback against those who are the stands, the morons, the idiots who constantly say everything's fine, this is great, and call us names. What they do when they do this is they run around grabbing at the tiniest little bit of thing without letting something breathe for a minute. The key to a good argument is to let something breathe for a minute and let the evidence mount. Then you collect your evidence and you construct your argument. And then you present your argument, accounting for possible holes and flaws in your analysis. But these assholes don't. Guys like Grums. Guys like, and I'll say it because I don't give a fuck. Guys like Smash JT. They will grab on the tiniest bit of thread and run with it without any source. And sometimes they'll go, well, my sources say you don't have fucking sources. And if you do, they're full of shit. Playing the source game. They'll run around. They'll scream this, scream that. They'll cry for boycotts. Oh, you're going to boycott. It's going to ruin. Boycotts don't work. See, if these people were intelligent, they would look back at the last attempt at a boycott when they tried to boycott Hogwarts Legacy and realize, oh, hey, wait a minute. They all screamed boycott and it didn't work. You know why boycotts don't work? Because the normies who don't pay attention to any of the shit we do online, they're going to go out and randomly buy shit. We cannot control that. We cannot stop that. They're going to buy games. They're going to buy movies and shit like that. You can't call for boycotts because boycotts never really work when you call for them. If you simply say, everybody speak with your wallets, show them you don't like this, without saying, go boycott this specific thing, that's how you approach that. You leave yourself a little wiggle room so that these morons who back a game like Ghost of Yote can't run with the memes and the statements. Look, how'd your boycott go? How did it work for you here? Because listen, especially when it comes to at least a launch of a video game, everything's going to look like things go fine. Now, in the long run, as I said a moment ago, we'll able to look at the historical evidence when time comes in a couple of years' time. What are the units sold lifetime for Ghost of Yote? Oh, yeah, it's in the shitter. It didn't really sell. Yeah, it may have made its budget back because they managed to make the game for the cheap at $60 million. But if you didn't reach the heights of the first game, which I don't think it did, right now, evidence as I see it shows me they probably didn't. That tells me that it's not the big hit that it is. I mean, let's look. But remember when Last of Us Part 2 came out, launched to barnstormers because it was an anticipated sequel. But then after a very good launch, in the weeks, the months, the years that followed, it didn't sell units. Copies rotting on shelves. Now that was a case of blatant agenda and bullshit, and Neil Druckmann being a complete and utter asshole. Because it got personal with a lot of social media accounts on YouTube and X and stuff like that. And then at that time, Twitter got real personal. So that was a cultural thing. But you're never going to tell people not to buy something because our voices, no matter how much we say, no matter how much we do not actually reach the full population. Because even Gary with his channel at over 1 million subs, Drinker with, I think he's either at or over 2 million now. I don't know. I don't remember. They don't reach everybody. They don't even reach their entire built-in subscriber base all the time. You're not, and I'm just using them as examples, the largest channels in this sphere. You're never going to reach all the normies. They're going to see Ghost of and think, oh, another game in this franchise. I guess I'll buy it. Oh, I saw a random article here because I'm not tapped in understanding that random articles are propaganda bullshit on games journals websites. They're not all tuned in to what we're saying, warning them of stuff, saying, be careful, this might not be good. They're not all into that. So they're going to go buy. There's no stopping the average consumer from buying a game. So to call for a boycott is ridiculous. It's dumb. It never works. And if these grifters were responsible and wanted to actually win an argument, they would look at the historical evidence. Last time somebody called for a boycott with Hogwarts Legacy, it failed miserably. Calling for a boycott on this, even with this limp, flaccid release of a game, it looks like you lose. Because all you got to do is see a chart like that, even with no numbers, and it says, oh, look, it's score number 4. Idiots who support that game. And I'm suddenly feeling lightheaded. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Okay. I think what happened there is I coughed and I didn't take in enough breath as I coughed, and I kept talking, and I caused a little blip there. Sorry about that. Nothing bad happened. I just I didn't take a moment after that cough to catch my breath, and I kept talking and expelled too much air while I was speaking for a brief moment of lightheadedness. So excuse me for that. Nothing happened to me. I'm fine. I'm better than I have been in a week. As I was saying, even when they grab with a worthless ranked 4 with no actual numbers to support how many units sold, it's enough for idiots who support a game like Ghost of Yotei to cry win, because idiots like Grums, like Smash DT, like Endymion, like Hypnotic, all these idiots screaming, boycott, boycott, boycott. You look like idiots then. You look like fools. Because you started a campaign that nobody could push to completion, could make happen. It would take somebody like at the level of Asmongold to even have a chance to influence a boycott, because he has such a massive reach in the gaming sphere. That's what it would take. So it's time once and for all to not listen to morons. And yes, I have said names I'm calling out because they have ruined the ability for us to make sustained arguments, because compared to somebody like me, they're much bigger. They're much larger channels. They have much larger built-in audiences. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody knock on my door. They have much built-in larger audiences. Problem is, when you talk a lot on social media and it looks like you get a lot of engagement, it looks like you speak for all of us. And those of us who take our time to build our arguments and make our points, we get drowned out and we get lumped in with careless morons who give nothing to conversations. I mean, again, I'm calling these guys out. I don't care if they know or don't know. What am I? I'm a barely 4,000 large channel. I might piss some people off, but I don't care, because I'm trying to have legitimate discussions here. I'm trying to have legitimate discussions. Make legitimate points. I've been very careful how I approached this whole Yotei thing, because I wasn't playing the game. And if I wasn't playing the game, I don't have a lot to say. But if I look at sales, talk about numbers, well, that's how I could talk about this. Problem is, there have been no actual sales numbers released by Sony or Sucker Punch. So I can hang a hat on that a month in almost. And they have not shared anything. If this game was such a mega hit, they would have shared some numbers by now. Not fake source numbers, random X posts, or a Norwegian analytical company that says our analysis showed us this. That's what they hang their hats on. And that's flimsy. That's as good. That's no different than my source says this. And the closest thing they have to a legitimate statement of sales success is that chart I just showed you, and the numbers actually released out of Japan, which compared, as I just showed you, when compared to a somewhat successful Pokemon release, it's pathetic. And to be happy about being number 4, if this was medal placement, you didn't even place in a medal. You didn't even get a bronze. You're standing there with a participation trophy. But then again, these are the participation trophy era people. It's not PTSD from the Discord sound. No, it was my washing machine with something that I keep on top of it banging up against the wall. That's what it was. Thought it sounded like a knock on the door, but no. Because you see, here's the thing. The knock on the door only works when this door is closed. The knock on my door for the apartment, there's a knocker on the door, and when somebody comes, they use the knocker. And that's a distinctive sound. That's not a knock on the door. It's a distinctive knocking sound. So I can differentiate between that. Fuck that sound, by the way. Forever fuck that sound. Fuck that sound. Anyway. So I have no respect for any of these people in any part of this conversation I've had on both sides. Because I want to have a real conversation. I want to be able to cleanly refute stuff, and I can't because my legitimate criticism, my legitimate points get drowned out by morons who just post shit for interactions. Listen. Do I? No, I'm not getting into that. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm not walking into that trap set by Kel. I'm not doing that. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. And you're right, Static. You're right. Because he doesn't call for it. See, whatever you may think about Roach King, he knows how to play the game. He's smart enough. He's been around long enough to just say, well, I don't think I like this, and here's why I don't like it. Maybe we shouldn't play this game. And that's enough of a read between the lines statement. Hey, guys, if you're my followers, don't go buy this game. And then that'll have a ripple effect. But then again, Asmongold is a massive influencer presence in the gaming sphere and somewhat the pop culture sphere as well. So that's a difference. The guys I mentioned collectively don't even sniff at his engagement rate, at his interaction rate, at his footprint, at his traction. They're all wannabes. They're all flash to the pan. They're people who, a lot of them, and I'm going to say this, a lot of them don't actually have opinions of their own. They co-opt them from other people and just repost it, react to it. And that's the true grifter. You know what the definition of a grifter is? Having no opinion of your own. Not being able to stand up and say, this is my opinion. Not being able to make a video or a statement of your own without drawing on someone else's work, which is what a lot of these guys do. They don't have opinions. They wait for, some of them, wait for the approved feeling to have on something. They wait for that. Or they just start quote tweeting lots of people and say, well, here, look at this. Here's where we go, man. That's what they do. Yeah. Or they fence sit. Or they ride the fence. One thing you say about me, I've never ridden the fence. My opinions are my own. And when I do say when I am borrowing a thought, I say this is not my original thought. I make it very clear that I heard this someplace first and I agree with it. Or I'm building off of it. Maybe this is why I'm not successful as I could be right now. Maybe because I don't grift hard enough. Maybe because I don't fake my way through shit. Don't fake it till I make it. Nah, fuck it. I'm going to be original. I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not going to pretend to have opinions I don't have. I'm not going to try and chase the dragon for ideas. I'm going to stick to what I am, who I am. I'm going to say my thoughts, my real opinions, my original opinions. Come what may. And one day, hopefully, I will break through and stand on my own. I'm not looking. And I'll say this. I've said it before, and I'll reiterate it. I am not looking as someone who goes out there to make strong opinions, to make thoughts and analysis on things. While I have to do this as part of what I do, as long as I have to do this before my priorities change and I can shift my attention to just doing creative stuff instead of the analysis stuff. As long as I have to do this, I will happily say I'm not chasing for anybody's approval outside of my audience, what they expect of me. I'm not chasing to be tapped on the shoulder by a bigger channel. I'm not chasing to get into giant drama-filled arguments on the internet so I can boost my awareness, boost the awareness of who I am. I'm not going to pick fights that will get me in legal trouble because I didn't know when to say stop. I'm just going to keep being myself. I'm not trying to be a part of anything to what I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build something different from a lot of other things. Involve some people you know. I'd love to involve other people we don't know. But I'm trying to do something more, do something different. So I don't need approval outside of my audience. Because as long as my audience likes what I'm doing, then everything's fine. Because you guys are here because you like what I'm saying. You like what I'm doing. I'm not going to grift or pretend just to tap into somebody else's audience, just to move along faster. Yes, it would be great if I was already at 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, actually making legitimate money on this channel so that I can move forward with every other project I want to do. That would be great. It would save my life. It would save other members of my life, of other people in my life. It would be great. I wouldn't be living in this fucked up state that I live in. I'd be living in Florida, doing more better things, greater content. But nope. I am who I am. I cannot pretend to be something else. I cannot fake it till I make it. Man, it might be chair's too close to the PlayStation 5. That's hurt me. We're coming up on 5 years as a channel in February. 5 years. I'm only this far along, but that's life. I made my choices. Got to be who I am. And because I don't suck up to bigger channels, because I don't run my mouth on social media, because I don't chase the dragon on every topic that might stretch my traction, I guess I have to live with what this channel is at the moment, because I am being true to myself and true to the audience I'm trying to build. I won't be a grifter, because grifters are the reason that we have so many problems with discourse. Then there's a third part to this, I guess. Discourse. I've been meaning to get to this all week, but other things kept getting in the way. So we'll get to it now. Because guess what? I'm going to keep talking. Let me make sure if you guys have put anything out there. Nope, you guys have not sent anything in, so I'm going to keep talking before we get to the news. I'm going to keep talking. Discourse is broken down. Discourse is actively broken down over everything. And I'm not just talking because of politics, although that plays a part in it. Can't have a real conversation anymore. Because even when you show that you have the veteran status, the foundation to speak on a game or a show or movie, this or that, the grifters will sabotage the discussion. I mentioned before, and I'll mention again, also because, some of us here are involved in this. There's a lot of shit swirling around with Pokemon ZDA. And to quote Dermy, who is my source for this, who explained it to me. A lot of people who are going after Pokemon Z to A are playing off of pirated copies that they got by nefarious means. Now, I'm not saying I never pirated a game, but when I was the era where I pirated games before I go forward, I did emulation for games that don't exist anymore, and once or twice a Gooner game or two, because I am paying money for that. But I've never actually pirated a game for PlayStation or Sony or Xbox. I've never actually done that, or PC, real games. Never actually done that. I'm either going to play a game or I'm not. So according as Dermy has laid it out for me, a lot of these people who are criticizing Pokemon Z to A are criticizing it via their pirated copies. Their pirated copies through which intentional bugs are put in there that are fixed up with a day one patch automatically for people who own the game so that they don't have the bugs. And that is so we know who's a legitimate customer and who's just a mooch and a pirate and not really trying to be a part of the game. So I say that because Dermy's doing his 14-year-old girl ex posting thing. He's doing that. He's doing a lot of back and forth with people. There are a lot of people out there. Yeah, that was disgusting. I apologize. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's the remainder of the sick. I don't know when it's going to happen. I apologize for that. Ugh, nasty. Ugh, hate that. Had a bad one yesterday where I got out of the shower and I both sneezed and coughed at the same time, but I had a full nose and the sneeze happened and the cough and I hocked one up and I didn't know what to do for half a second. My brain stalled out on what to do for a second because all oxygen was being cut off for like half a second. Like I couldn't breathe through either thing. So it's like, what do I do? Open your mouth and spit it out. That's what you do. Anyway, what was I saying before that totally ruined my train of thought? Okay, that is funny. Literally do-rag Vince. I hope they were trying to be do-rag Vince. That's funny. Again, I have to blow my nose after that. Excuse me. I'll try and refocus my thoughts. Okay. Give me a second to focus my mind. Okay, as I was saying, Dermy's really having discussions with people or fights online with people who are claiming that they are free to criticize a game with all its mechanics and gameplay, even though they never played it or played it with a pirated copy. That's who he's having fights with. And tangentially, and Kel knows this because Kel got involved with it, pointing out the difference between real and promotional material, to which Kel has been attacked by these people. Discourse is broken. And you know why it's broken? Because this is happening on our side. Derby's not fighting with queerdo leftards. He's fighting with the so-called right-wingers. No, they're all fucking tourists and grifters. And what has happened is go back. Those of you who have been here for a long time, you know I said this. I said 2 years ago, as the pendulum was swinging back, as we were coming up on the election, and the pendulum was swinging back, I said, we have to be very careful. As the pendulum goes from insane leftism all the way now to insane conservatism. I said they're going to grab it and they're going to hold it and they're going to behave no different. And here we are. There are people who claim to be on our side of the argument, who are now holding the pendulum at the farthest possible point and behaving no better than leftists. Yeah, I guess Dermy's a terrorist because Dermy's a terrorist because he has a different opinion, because he has a fact-based opinion on this shit. They actually called him that. Static is bringing a point. They called Dermy a terrorist for bringing his fact-based point opinion on Pokemon Z to A in the Pokemon franchise. This is why discourse is broken, because actual grifters and lunatics on either side always ruin the ability to have a discussion and a debate. You can't have it anymore. And I'm not on any lift. And well, but my point is this: I warned, don't let this happen, and it's happening. There was nothing I was going to be able to do to stop it. Let's be honest. I was never going to be able to stop it. Nothing I could say or want was going to stop it from happening. But here we are. Here we are. Morons. And the problem is, a lot of these morons have loud voices. And people think they speak for all of us. Nobody speaks for me. I speak for myself. You can all fuck off. And I don't like any of you. I don't respect any of you. Because you are grifters. You're not here because you give a damn. You're here to make money. And that's fine. Make all the money you want. I want to make money too. But you know what? Be honest about it. Be honest about it. Don't pretend to be folk hero fighting for the rights of this and that. You don't give two shits. You know a grifter when they talk about something they've never talked about before in order to just get in on the conversation. If you are not a fan of something, if you have no background in it, in my opinion, you shouldn't be weighing in on it whatsoever. You may comment on whether or not it was a failure. That's fine if you're covering the news and you're just bringing it up. It's like, okay, yeah, this thing, yeah, it failed, and it failed because of this, this, and this. But outside of that, you shouldn't be weighing in. I mean, there's a reason I don't weigh in on a lot of different things, because I'm either not a fan or I have no experience in it. There's a reason when the time comes to review Harry Potter reboot show, I'm going to bring in somebody else to help me out, because I'm not a hardcore enough Potterhead to accurately review it. It needs reviewing. It's going to need reviewing. It's going to be a major television pop culture event. And I am a review channel. But I'm going to bring in somebody to balance what I know and don't know. Because I'm not trying to pretend I'm something that I'm not. Now, when it comes to Star Wars, I don't need help. When it comes to Star Trek, I don't need help. When it comes to Doctor Who, I need a little help, but I'm generally good. Generally good. Grifters. Grifters. Don't trust them. And there's also the problem with the grift. The longer you go, the eventuality is you'll be shown for the fake that you are. That you do not have a leg to stand on when talking about the shit you're talking about. That's why if you stick to what you know, if you stick to what you're actually a fan of, what you can have actual conversations about, you're going to be fine. Going to be fine. I may not have Star Wars stuff to talk about all the time. I may not have Star Trek stuff to talk about all the time. But when it comes around, I can easily weigh in on it because I have a proven track record. Granted, I call myself the Renaissance nerd because I have a wide and varied knowledge over many pop culture topics. So I do have the capability to weigh in on many different things, but I'll pick my moments. I'm not going to weigh in on everything. Sometimes something isn't a story. Let's move on. And we will move on now. Let's move on. I have rambled long enough. I have talked long enough about what I'm talking about here. I hope you guys take that stuff to heart. I hope you guys take take it to heart what I was saying, and know that I'm not trying to create drama. I'm just speaking my point. I'm not calling for. I'm not calling out. I'm not calling for a debate with anybody. I'm not calling anybody completely to task. I'm just saying what I think. I don't want to pick a fight with anybody, but I am going to tell it like I see it. That's a point. I haven't seen it. I've only heard people talk about it. It sounds like there's a lot of agenda slop thrown in there, though. It really does. And it's not so much popular to hate on. It sounds like it is actual trash. I don't give a crap. I barely watched any of Legacy. I could give a fuck about Tron. I kept to my single point when I said it was not going to do well. And I was proven right from a box office perspective. I said it wasn't going to do well, and it isn't doing well. And I was proven right on that single point that I waited on, that saying that nobody would give a shit about Tron Ares. And here we are. Nobody gives a shit about it. You see, that's how I remained able to talk about it, yet not go out on a limb and manufacture a perspective. I said it wasn't going to do well, and I was either be proven wrong or right, and I was proven right. And by sticking just talking about the box office, I have all I need to talk about. Now, if you want to talk about the original Tron movie, I can talk about that all day long because I've seen that movie many times. But current day Tron, I give two fucks about it, and I'm not going to waste my time. All right, let's get into the news. I've talked on Ramble long enough. It's been an hour since I had these up. Better refresh these tabs. And all their sluggish ability. Yes, Kel, I did see that. Pacific Rim, listen, Boyega already killed Pacific Rim as a franchise. Boyega already killed it. First movie was fantastic. Second movie was dog shit. And I got to remind you also, Jared Leto is also your new Skeletor in the He-Man live action. Oh, boy. Okay, news. Let's get to it. All right, High Potential is first 10 p.m. drama hit #1 for the fall season ER. Okay, that sounds like it's terrestrial television. I don't give a crap. Isabel Tate, 911 national actor, dies at 23. Oh, well, that's sad. It also said too, I saw this post going around online. Some 18-year-old girl got shot at a party during a fight, and she died, but she was on life support. They gave her everybody from her high school showed up at the hospital. She's being rolled into organ donation. And pretty girl. Tragic that crazy fucking people get innocent people killed like that. Tragic. When the young die, tragic like that. Johnny Depp to star in Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol at Paramount. Oh, do we really need another Christmas Carol adaptation? Do we really? I don't think so. Listen, Johnny Carson, Centennial, tracing his path to the Tonight Show through pages of Variety. Can we leave Johnny alone? Leave Johnny alone. We don't need to. He's already rolling in his grave. As Warner Brothers goes up for sale, where would Hollywood be without the iconic studio? Listen, Warner Brothers is iconic, but let's the whole Warner Brothers sale thing keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. And I've said what I'm going to say on it already. We don't need it. Nobody needs to buy this because it's just we don't need more monopolies. And once again, if Superman, James Gunn, DC was so successful, how come it's up for sale? Where are all those Superman fans now? ABC News sets Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere special with cast Bruce Springsteen. Oh, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Fuck Bruce Springsteen. Don't care about that propaganda. Sims mobile game to shut down after 7 years. Fuck The Sims and fuck mobile gaming. EA partners with James Cameron back stability AI for game developer tools that serve as smarter paintbrushes. I guess we can attach this to the Saudi investment group. They're just trying to make money. James Cameron has pioneered a lot of tech in the past decade. So they're partnering with some tech to make more money. That's money making. And it's smart. It's smart because AI is a tool. Allen Iverson, Shaquille O'Neal on producing documentaries about game-changing NBA rival turned business partner. I didn't know they were in business together. I didn't know that. Did not know that. David Ball of Tainted Love, Hitmaker, Soft Cell Dot 66. I don't know who that is. How Richardson learned to love LA pushed past I don't give a crap. Don't give a crap. Don't give a crap. Taylor Swift, who cares? I wouldn't know. I never played mobile games. I can't stand playing shit on my phone. I can't. Go after Robert De Niro. That's fine. He hasn't made anything good in 30 years. He really hasn't. Also, I'd question when did he actually really make anything good? I'll put that out there. Show me something that's really good from Robert De Niro. And I don't want to hear Goodfellas because you know what? I don't put Goodfellas on a pedestal as a movie. I don't. Anything interesting here? Nicole Kidman, Gwyneth Paltrow, and some other chick, and Dakota Johnson do something with Vogue. I don't care. Stranger Things, 2 hours series finale will play in movie theaters. All right. Again, another example. I have never watched Stranger Things. I don't want to watch Stranger Things. I'm likely never going to watch Stranger Things. So I don't care about Stranger Things. But I have serious doubts that it's going to make any significant amount of money in the movie theater when people can watch it at home in the comfort of home, like the comfort of home. Blah. I don't think it's gonna. I'm sure hardcores will go see it, but I really don't think this is anything to make money. I think it's more of a marketing ploy. That's what it feels like to me, a marketing ploy, just to get more excitement. And honestly, I don't know if there is excitement for Stranger Things the way there used to be. I don't know because I'm not into it. And I don't talk to people about it, so I don't know. Stop it. Let's see. Nothing. F1 Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Power IMAX to record-breaking third quarter. Demon Slayer, there's an example of making money. I still don't think F1's actually made profit, but Apple didn't make it for profit. They made it to push F1 onto their streaming service, F1 Racing. Let's see. Anything? A Broadway strike averted? Like anybody would give a fuck if there was a Broadway strike. I'm sorry. Nobody gives a fuck. Karate Kid musical? No, thank you. Don't care about My Neighbor Totoro anything because it's anime for normies. Anything here? 9 hours. The Amazon Web Services debuts real-time bidding service for advertisers, media, whatever. Chilean filmmakers make a furry movie that looks really weird, it looks like. Anything else of interest here? Nope, that's from yesterday or really overnight. Don't care. All right. IGN, what do you got? Borderlands 4 Day 30 patch makes big balance changes. Once again, sinking ship. They're working hard over there. Fallout Day. I don't care about Fallout Day. I don't care. I don't really play Fallout games. I played one game and I didn't even finish it. I'm afraid this game won't be recognizable in the future. Some Battlefield 6 players really hate the Season 1 skin. No comment. No comment. I'm not playing it. I don't know anybody playing it at the moment, so I don't know if this is legitimate or not. Stranger Things season finale will hit theaters. Talked about that. Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive Elden Ring Tarnished Edition delayed to 2026. Probably because the game isn't running well. That's my guess. And they're going to try and smash it together to make it fit. Microsoft has reportedly pushed Xbox Studios to deliver a 30% profit margin, allegedly leading to all those layoffs, canceled projects, price rises and the end of exclusives. While I agree that all exclusivity should be ended, I don't believe exclusives. I never really have. I never bought anything for exclusives, so I've never really understood that argument. I go where if I see a game I like it, I go there. And if the game's available for everything, then I choose what I want to play it on. I'll play it on PC or I'll play it on console. Right now, I choose console because my computer is old and it can run shit. But the days of exclusivity are over. On the era of cartridges, it was one thing. But in the days in this day and age, it really doesn't make sense. Excuse me. Also, Xbox is fucked. Back to the point of that, it's fucked. It's done. She's not Neo at the end of The Matrix. Don't expect Mary from Gen V to kick Homelander's ass in The Boys Season 5. I don't care about any of that because I'm not watching it. I thought it looked like trash from the beginning, and it looks like my instincts were correct. Remaster New Vegas boss Danny Trejo calls on Bethesda to give Fallout fans what they really want. Well, see, here's the thing. They'll never do it because Bethesda didn't make New Vegas. Obsidian did. They can't remaster a game they don't own. And if they did that, they'd embarrass themselves because that's the game that everybody liked over the previous generation of Fallout games. Helldivers 2 Into the Unjust 4.10 update out now. Have fun with Helldivers if you're still playing it. I have no desire to play that game. Never have. Probably never will. Microsoft says most people think big blockbuster video game exclusives are antiquated. They are. Because I don't care about your first-person exclusive. Andy Muschietti confirms Batman Brave and the Bold is still happening, but he has to wait a couple of months before he can talk about it. Yeah, because they're narrowing down who their Batman's going to be. Once they hire their Batman, they'll be talking about it nonstop. And all the simps and the shills will have one more thing to pretend on. What do you mean I got Star Wars on the Xbox? I mean, I bought KOTOR. I bought a used Xbox by KOTOR. And as I mentioned yesterday, I was very happy when I was able to get it on PC because playing games on the original Xbox was a nightmare because they were all busted and buggy. And as soon as I could get it on, Susan was cross-platform, I got it on something else to play. It was a nightmare on the Xbox. This is from yesterday. All right, that's it on IGN. Not much. W rejected third Paramount bid, despite offer to keep Zaslav's QCO. Man, Paramount, a third one. I talked about too, a third one. Wow. They're desperate to get WB. That's a little stalkerish right now. Skydance Paramount must really want that Warner Brothers catalog. Whew. That's something to talk about. Kusafiri Coffee Shop and Bakery at Disney's Animal Kingdom adds lunch and dinner menu options. Don't care. Hollywood writers are desperate to bring back Rachel Zegler and prove Snow White was not a career ending. She's career ending herself because she's a monster. I have loved it that we've had, 5 months without having to talk about Rachel Zegler. It's been great. I love not talking about her. Monstrous creature. Disneyland Abu Dhabi partner announces record-breaking summer before Harry Potter Land opens. Ubisoft hits Star Wars, outlaws studio massive entertainment with layoffs. Well, yeah, because your game lost hundreds of millions of dollars. And Ubisoft needs money. And there it is. There's the second one from just yesterday. That means in the span of, I guess, 72 hours, Paramount Skydance has tried to buy Warner Brothers multiple times. And Zaslav doesn't want to do this anymore. He wants his golden parachute. He doesn't want to do this anymore. He doesn't want to manage the disaster that is James Gunn. He regrets that contract. You know he does. Giving James Gunn as much power and ability as he has. That was a mistake, and it's gonna bite him in the ass. And no, I'm not gonna talk about the whole will James Gunn survive the merger thing, because that's what if conversations, and I don't do what if conversations. Well, that's the news. I'm sticking to it. And you guys seem to not want to give me money today. That's fine. I'll just be poor. I'll just be a poor. In all seriousness, though, it's your generosity, and I appreciate it when you guys do give me the super chats and the tips for stuff. Anyway, well, we're at an hour, and I'll give you guys a few minutes to consider something in the news, although there wasn't much. Either way, then I guess we're done. I talked a lot today, had a lot to say, and that's the show. So what do we got tonight? I don't think I'll stream tonight. I do not think I'll stream tonight. I think I'll just chill out. Got to take some nights off. Let's see. Tomorrow, Ballbusters. Don't know what's going on. Saturday Night Drive-In, 13 Ghosts. Roundtable. I'm putting together a show. Got an idea. Got some ideas coming together. And then that's kind of it. We'll see what the remainder of the week takes us. So unless you guys got anything you want to throw my way, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with me today. I know I said a lot of things, talked a lot, maybe out of my ass at times, but I'm honest. And if I'm honest, at least I know I can live with myself. Whether or not you can live with me, that's a question that must be answered down the line. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me today. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please promote the channel. Let's grow the audience. Let's have some more fun. Bring in new people. Grow the group. Bring success to the channel so that I may go on to do greater things entertainment-wise for you. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Yeah, I got nothing. I'm just trying to extend it a couple more minutes. I got nothing. I've said everything I want to say. So you guys have a good rest of your day. See you later.